Let's see if we're live. Cool. Yeah, it seems that we're live. Hi everyone. Let's see if the sounds is fine. Live.
Oh, nice. You have the transparent background.
Yeah, it's green screen. Usually when I'm on Zoom call, I put the space background and stuff like that, and just joke about being in space. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so let's get started with the stream. Hi everyone, we here again with Shawn from Netlify. We will continue our stream we did last time on building custom auth. And yeah, so just to recap what we got working last time. So we spawned our Hasura engine, created new engine with two tables, posts and users. And the idea is to use Netlify identity to authenticate, right? So what we did, we basically created in our, it's docs. Okay, let me open Netlify. And so what we did, we created a bunch of functions, actually one function that
You want to go app.netlify.com.
Hmm?
App.netlify.com.
I just need to log in.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, let's go to dashboard, and this is our site that we've created. And this site has several things. It has functions, identity sign up. This is a new one I created, and I will explain in a bit what it does, and we'll continue from that point. And in our identity, we have a bunch of users. So what's happening here? We created whenever you sign up, there is a function, this function, identity sign up, it's triggered. And what it does, it basically writes these users into Hasura. So let's look at the code. So what's happening here, we have, this is an example widget. What happens inside is we have like authentication, and we have basic login, basic like identity model and stuff like that. And whenever we logged in, it will execute this function. Well, whenever we sign up and whenever we confirm our email upon sign up, we will get this one executed, which we had hard time to write and debug last time, right? Because we had to kind of delete these users and try them again and like sign up, and yeah, we try to figure out what's going on there, but
it's much easier now.
yeah
Because I went back and built some more CLI tooling to do local testing of all this, so
Oh,
that we
that's
don't have
cool. So we will actually use these for the next function that we'll create. We'll test it locally before deploying, right? We can do that.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. So what's happening here, basically, we have our handler and we get our user. This is just, we don't actually need those. We can delete it. But the main thing what's happening here is executing this mutation. So we call insert users with ID, email, and name, and insert a new user into Hasura. So we don't need any connection to database because we have GraphQL endpoint, and we can just execute this mutation. So whenever we get the result, we basically just return actually we should return that one, I think, right? Or no, actually it doesn't matter. We can return this one, it's just dummy data, or we can return that one. So to show you how it works, if we go into, where was that? into our user. So I had Vlad Svex and Vlad1. Now let's create a new user. This is our the widget, the React Netlify widget. I do sign up. Let's say I'll have okay, Vlad2, and will be test 2, and just simple password. I sign up. Yeah. And now if I log out or just refresh that, I just got notification of my email. I won't show that for security. But
You can
basically,
turn off the confirmation as well if you need it.
yeah. I mean, in production, you will need that, right? So that's why. So
Yeah.
whenever I clicked on confirm, what happened here is if I reload that, I'm supposed to see another user. And we have another user, and it's created. Everything is good, right?
Very nice.
Yeah. So the first step is done, basically. We have our users written into Hasura, but now the problem is what we need to do is how you actually use this, how you authenticate, right? So we have login, we write our users, but whenever you log in, I need to give you some kind of permissions, roles, and in general, like query GraphQL API with different like levels of permissions, right? So an idea, what I need to do is to go, basically to pass some kind of authorization, and it will be some kind of token, which we can actually retrieve from here. So if we look at the token and just do basic login, it was test 2, right?
I don't remember.
I think. Yeah, so we get our token, access token. It's this one.
Ooh. Yep.
Yeah. Now, what we would expect if I do something like that, then basically I will be able to have some like remove this admin secret and have some kind of roles and permissions and stuff. Right now, you see nothing is allowed because I haven't configured my roles and permissions. Now the problem is if we parse this token outside and just see what this token contains. Because like JSON web tokens, they have header and body, which both of them are base URL encoded. So what we get inside is this one, right? We get app metadata and user metadata, and we have some custom stuff, which you can see we had here. So we talked before the stream about the fact we need custom claims, and I told you that custom claims is something that you probably already have, because what I thought is if I add some kind of data here, this data will be also added to JSON
Oh,
token, right? But that's not the case. What
you have to stick it inside. Yeah.
yeah, only app metadata and user metadata basically gives me uh, I can get like additional data inside.
Yep.
Now, if we look at the Hasura docs and authentication, we will see that we need to pass custom claims in specific format. And trying to, yeah, show it in the docs. So the format is as following. So we need sub name. This is not necessary. Any data basically. And this one is what you need to pass.
Okay.
So the idea of custom claims is just adding these like any custom key that can have an object inside with additional data. that will be encrypted with JWT token and will be encrypted as JWT token, and then whenever you parse that, it will be passed into the system. Also, we have an option to kind of customize that, to have the different, instead of Hasura IO JWT, have like your domain or something else. But what we need to have, you to have some kind of like root level object, and everything inside will be passed, right? So as far as I know, you don't have it right now, right? Correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So we need to find a way around that. So we cannot use JWT, but what we will be using webhooks, and this is another option of doing authentication. So the idea
Yes.
is we have our app basically, and whenever we call our GraphQL API, we will pass the token, the same as we had here. And what we need to do, we need to add in our configuration for the. Let me find that. Stream. Let's just search for Netlify.
I think it's Netlify stream. Yeah.
Yeah, Netlify stream. So in the configuration here, I need to add the URL for this webhook. And this webhook, what it will do, it will validate the token, and it will get all the user data, and basically it will just return the same format back. It will return user ID, user role, and stuff like that. So to show you example how it's done, I have it for Firebase Cloud Functions, for instance. So the idea is like a regular serverless function, and what it does here, it validates with Firebase, and in response, it returns Hasura role, X Hasura role, and it also returns, it can return the user ID and Hasura role. So whenever there is a user, it will return something like that. If there is no user, it will just return X Hasura role anonymous. So what we will do, we will create a function that will get the token and get the user from the token, and basically check its if user exists, it will return same as here, X Hasura user ID, and if it's not, we will return X Hasura role, right? It makes sense?
If it's not, it should be Exasura role anonymous.
Yeah. If it's not, it will be this one, access role anonymous, and if there is a user, we'll have something like that.
Okay.
So I already started creating this function, and this is as simple as I can. Like, this is just a dummy code I copied from somewhere. Oh man, it's weird. My phone always, like, whenever I do streams, Siri always thinks that I'm talking to her. I don't know why it's happening.
I just turned it off.
Yeah.
It's not helpful.
So what I have here a validate user function, which does nothing. It just gets an identity on a user. And what I wanted to test is if I'm able to get the user and get the token itself. So I already pushed that. And if I go to functions and validate user, this will be the console log. Let's see actually how it works. I got the token. Now this token basically will be passed to this function later on, right? But let's just do it. Oh man, I need to move the window a little bit. Just a second. What do I need? I need Postman.
I'm old school. I use curl. I use curl. I don't use Postman.
I use it too, but it's easier to showcase it in.
Yeah.
best way. I mean, I can use Vim, right, instead of VS Code, but it's not the best experience for for streams, right? Okay, so this is the URL, and I have those authorization, bearer token, and I need to pass URL here. For an instance, if I pass it as a string, what I will get nothing here because I don't have any response. But if I look at the logs, I will see the URL token, and that's about it, right? But I want to see user, right? So the problem that I have here, if I remove uh, quotes and send it again, I will get the user. So I get the URL, I get token, email, and bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Right? So my user info, role, and stuff like that. Now what I need email, because email is something I'm using. Actually, not really. I need user ID. So let's change our metadata, and now you walk me through like what I need to add to get the user ID.
Let me double check because I'm not sure about that either. Let me look that from my end.
So what I thought, right? If I go to the identity sign up, basically whatever I put in app metadata and user metadata, is the one I will see on validate user on user object, right?
Yeah, that should be it.
At least how it looks like. So
Hang
it
on. Let
means,
me see. Right. So something is.
so if I will put something like user ID and we'll say it's just user.id, it will do its job, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Right? Something like that.
I see. I see. So you only spread the user metadata, but you actually want the user ID. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I want to get a user ID because with user metadata, I don't get it. It doesn't seem I
Correct.
get anything.
Correct.
Actually,
Correct.
wait. Actually, sub is an ID.
I don't know what
I
sub stands
think
for though.
we can actually check that. Let's check that. I think it's an ID.
Yeah. Check it with the token that you got. Oh, or yeah, or
Yeah,
the
it's an
user.
ID.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I don't know why it's called sub. I need to go look at that.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't need to change anything then. We can
That's
just
fine.
get sub, which is also good. But it's good to know we can add bunch of data or like rename that, and
Yeah.
yeah. So in our validate user, basically what we need to get. Okay, you see here. That was the
There
purpose
you
of
go.
the code. Okay, so I have the user ID. Now I have this user URL, right? I can actually get my user data. The
Yep.
question if I mean I copied that code for just getting it was somewhere in the docs getting user data, but we don't
Okay.
really need user data, right? We have the sub, we have email, so we don't actually need this URL.
I see.
We will need admin auth header for the identity token,
Sure.
and let's actually comment this out. And we won't need all of that, I believe. We can just okay.
Well, you don't need the auth then?
Yeah, I don't need like I get the user ID, meaning I
Sure. Okay.
if I won't get a user, basically the idea is as following. Like if I have user,
Then it is valid.
then it is valid. Exactly. And then I can
Well,
do
basically, you should early return if there's no user, or you should
hmm?
throw an error if there's no user.
No, this
You
is
should
fine.
first.
I can return anonymous.
Oh, I see. I see. Got it.
So then I will return anonymous role and yeah, early return obviously. And otherwise, what I can do, I can basically take the user ID will be I have it here. Um, no, it's other way around. If I have user ID, then I basically return user ID and user ID role. Man, I switched keyboard. I don't have this plus minus sign anymore. So, yay.
Oh. Oh, no
Yeah,
more French keyboard.
yeah. No more French keyboard. Yeah. Okay. So we won't need this as well. So what we can do, we can actually copy some stuff from here. So let's say, okay, we don't need that. So the ID and the user, so we can basically return, yeah.
Just an object, but with a body
Yeah,
and a
we need
status.
to return status 200, and then
Status code.
status code, yeah. And we need to return body, which will have,
JSON stringify.
hmm?
JSON stringify the body.
Yeah. And
They're
inside,
all standard
we'll have
standard things.
X Hasura user ID. We don't have this decoded token. We have user ID from here, so it will be like this. And Hasura role user, this is fine. Okay, so this if we have user. If we don't have user, then we simply let's just delete that.
Return anonymous.
Yeah.
Okay. This seems much simpler than I thought you were asking me to do.
No, it's simpler. Like um, the main thing was to just to get the first function working last time. That's why it's
Yeah.
like took us a lot of time to do. And whenever we have user in Hasura, it's pretty simple to we can write our own custom server. It's not necessarily need to be Netlify function, but it makes sense to have it that way.
Yeah.
So let's do X Hasura role, and it will be anonymous. Okay, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
So
that's about
now
it.
this becomes okay. So we can test it locally. Um,
Yeah, I need to
the,
update a CLI. You told me to update,
right.
but it
So,
was like 5 minutes before the stream. So let's
so
update CLI.
npm I global um, Netlify dash CLI. And basically, what I did after our previous live stream was that I realized that we basically need to run this locally so that we don't have to wait for builds to happen. Like we basically just need to fire a test payload um, and just make sure that the JavaScript executes as we expect. So we'll give it some mock data, and that's the local testing that was missing, and that's why the last time we were so slow because we had to wait for the production deploy.
Yeah, we had to deploy every time we changed every
Exactly.
tiny bit. So it was yeah.
So now we have two things that we're going to do. One is we're going to run the function server. So just type Netlify dev or NTL dev. That's the shortcut. Or Netlify dev as well. That works.
What's the shortcut?
NTL dev.
Mm-hmm.
Just because nobody likes to type Netlify all the time. And then in a second terminal. So maybe open a second one. Yeah, I use the split screen one so that I can see left and right. But this is fine as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then close the one on the left. Oh, okay.
Like that.
Split screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's NTL functions : invoke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just hit enter.
Yeah. So if you got the latest version, oh, what is this?
This not
Pull up?
defined. I need to build before that or
Uh,
something. Maybe I need to be in a functions folder or something.
are you in the functions folder?
No.
No. You don't need to be. Okay, so it looks like. Do you need to build? Yeah. Let's try and build. You on run build.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have a hard dependency on the build. Anyway, so this is something that I mean I've used this enough, so I'm not sure why this is failing at the dist. I'm keen on looking at this. What version did you have? Oh, maybe you have to reload.
No, not necessarily. Why would I reload? I just install it globally, right? So
Exactly. Anyway, we'll see what happens when the build is done.
started to edit all these cache things.
What is that? Is this a create React app?
This is your identity widget.
I think what it's doing is it's building the underlying library as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's like ES, UMD, CJS.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a leak. I need to fix that. Oh, maybe because you clone. I see. You're cloning my the source. Can you go into source?
Yeah, because we're using example and the source is. Yeah.
So this is for a I'm building a library.
Yeah. So we need to. Where do we need to run that?
Are we deploying from example? Can you go into example?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one that
Okay.
we're actually.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
It's the actual app. No wonder it's so slow.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but then
Let's try
the
to
function.
invoke. But then the functions. Actually, we deploy. No, we deploy everything.
Yeah. So okay, so go to the root. In that second terminal, go to the root. So I think you finished building. I think if you run it now, it should work. I didn't realize that we were doing this.
No, I
we were
stopped the
inside.
build. So.
Oh, you stopped the build.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, it was building the library as well, and not the app.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go to netlify.toml and inside this file? Yeah, there we go. So we should be seeing that it CDs into the example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that would be the reason why. And the other thing, can I look at package JSON as well?
Sure.
Yeah, so this is the I got you to clone the wrong. Yeah, it's a library. I got you to clone the wrong thing.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. The main idea is we're using example anyway, so.
Exactly. So, but the functions are still published from here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's still going to be fine. What I worry about now is the functions. Okay, if you look at the functions, inside the functions, there's two folders, right?
Yeah.
So one of them is identity sign up. Identity sign up has a dependency. Has no dependency, right?
No, it has node fetch, the same as validate user.
Right. So where does it get node fetch from?
From the package JSON in the library, which is I can see why
it's
a problem. Yeah, from
Oh,
here.
okay. So we put it in dependencies. Okay. So that works. All right. So it's built now. Let's see if that works. I hope it does.
No, it doesn't.
Why the
Still,
fuck?
this not defined.
I see. Hang on. I thought I. Okay, it looks like we haven't. Okay, I think this is a temporary bug that we had, but I thought I already fixed that. That means we haven't published it yet.
Yeah, we can just publish that and just do the the old style and
Yeah, you want to commit it? You just want to commit to Git
yeah,
and let
yeah.
the PI go through? Let's do that. It looks like, yeah, I mean, it looks like uh, we have to publish. Just checking. Yeah, we haven't published Netlify Dev since I pushed the bug fix. So it works on my machine, but it doesn't work on anyone else's machine.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's still building. And what we'll need to do, we need to run this postman again whenever it's done. And we'll see what we'll get.
The other thing to do as well is to also just build locally and then push to Netlify. So don't run the build on the Netlify build bot. That's another way to, so that you're not always building the front end, because the front end doesn't change.
Yeah.
You're only building the back end. So that's something that we can try doing as well. Because right now it's building both the library and then the front end, and then it deploys the functions. That's why.
What do you suggest to build? Like to build, we already build front end. To build an
build the
example.
front end. We did so CD example and then yarn build, and then once you're done, we'll go back to the root and then we'll do Netlify deploy. That's
What? Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
it doesn't have yarn. Whoa. I might have removed the script. Did I do?
No, it was there, I think.
Why is the command not found? I think the dependencies are not installed, so we have to yarn
Oh.
the dependencies.
Yeah. Because
It's a nested folder. Basically, we need recursive yarn. Anyway, by the time we're done with this, the CI will be done.
Yeah. Actually, it takes longer than it took previously.
It seems like it's kind of slow on. Actually, I don't know why. I don't remember how long it took last time. By my count, it's only been 2 minutes, so we'll see. Okay.
Okay, it's
so
published.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we have it. Hasura user ID and Hasura role, and it seems that it's working. Good. So what we will do now is basically go here, go to docs, and we need to find this. I don't remember the name of the key that we need to add. Let's see.
Simple webhook.
No. I mean, we need to add in Heroku. We need to add the here again Hasura GraphQL Auth hook. This one.
Okay. I see.
So what we need to do? Go here, settings, field config vars, and auth hook. So our auth hook will be. Where was that? Functions, validate user. This will be our auth hook.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
Sweet.
So what will happen now if we will send our token? It will validate the token and give us the user role and everything.
So it's like a bouncing back and forth between the two servers.
Yeah, sort of like so like the schematic is like that. So you send it webhook
Yeah,
mode, then it validates, and then you get the access control rule.
got it.
Now I'm not sure if I can do it through if I can test this through the console, but let's try. So what actually how I will try that? I'm actually not sure it will work from the console, but so what we need this actually. Yeah, no, it's not working yet. So what we need to set permissions for the role user role, right? Let's open our Postman. What we had here, accessor role user, right? So what I will do, I will say, okay, I will have user and I can go into permissions and I will have a user role here. And I will say, okay, I can select name and email of the user, something like that. So now, yeah, it's working, as you can see.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so it gives me the user. Now, if I will parse that, there is no user role there. But what's happening? It's calling the webhook and
Yeah.
gives me only users by primary key or only like subscriptions with users and everything. Now, what we can do, we can say, okay, find my user. Let's actually do something cool. Let's create a post without like we don't know our user ID, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I want to create a new post and I want to assign it to a user. So what I will say in my post in permissions, I will have user permission, I will have insert permission with custom check. I want to insert only if user ID equal to x. No, actually, I don't need custom checks here. Yeah, sorry about that. Don't need custom checks. What I want to do, I want for column preset say that my user ID will come from session variable and it will be from accessor user ID. So it means that if I will just go and insert post, oh, I need, yeah, sorry. I forgot to add tables, add fields.
Oh,
Uh, I want to insert title and
title and
content.
content.
So
I
I
love how
want.
you can actually see from the schema.
Hmm?
I love how you can actually see it from the schema. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So if I insert this post, so as you can see, there is no user ID here, even though it's mandatory. If I'll run that, I will see that my post will have user ID.
Hey.
Yeah. And it will come from the session variable, right? So it's pretty
Right.
cool what you can do with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now there's a user
Oh man,
field.
it was faster than I thought.
You scared me. You scared me with the validation thing. I thought I had to expose some internal stuff for you to validate. But really, the moment you call the function, it's already validated. So
Yeah.
you have to do everything.
Yeah, but honestly, I thought it will take more time. But yeah,
No, not at all.
so as you can see, yeah, the webhooks pretty much gives you anything that you can do, like any custom things, and you not necessarily need to spawn your own server. You can just use the functions here, and yeah, you see the invocation of the validate user. So
very cool. I mean, I can I can take this validation code and put it into my templates as well, so people can spin it out easier in the future.
yeah.
And I'm pretty keen on. I think there is a Hasura Netlify add-on that some of your guys are working on to hopefully make this much easier in the future when you have a
Yeah.
managed service, so that we don't have to mess around with environment variables.
Yeah, and right now, what you have basically, like out of these two streams, basically you have these two functions, which both of them give you the full like solution
Workflow.
for authentication with identity. So the sign up, well, obviously don't need all of these, and yeah, I'll just remove that. We don't need the custom. We don't need the response body in general. We can return this as empty or something. No, actually, you know what? I will just leave that for the sake of example. And yeah, another thing what we can do, and we forgot to have here. So when let's say I want to sign up with the user, which already exists, right? So it's up to me how to respond to that. I either can say, well, actually, Netlify won't let me do that, right?
What is the question? I don't
If I
understand.
try to sign up with the user with the same email, Netlify will just won't let me.
Yeah, it would just
Yeah,
stay, please log in or
yeah.
something.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, like, if your user somehow exists in a database but doesn't exist in Netlify, you can programmatically create a Netlify identity user, so to sync up the differences, right? In case you have any disparity, like
yeah.
you're bringing over existing user base.
Yeah, cool. Another thing that I tried, and actually I'm not sure if this is working correctly. So
Okay.
it's good I recalled this problem that I had. If I so with identity I can sign up with let's say Google Auth, right?
Yeah.
But then the sign up is not triggered.
I'm actually not sure about that. I haven't tried it. It is. Is it not triggered?
It's not because like I need confirmation mail, and I'm not getting confirmation mail.
Oh no, because you don't need confirmation if you're signing
Yeah,
through.
but the sign up is triggered upon confirmation.
Okay. So you need that.
So if I call that, so yeah, I signed up.
It should fire as well, I think.
Let's see.
If you've never signed up before.
No, it's not here as you can see. If we
I
go to
see. So
functions, we won't see it. Yeah, it's 9
maybe
minutes ago, so it's not executed.
there's another event that we can look into.
Yeah, the question is like it's supposed to be it's invoked by the name, right? If I create a function which is called identity sign up, then it's called. Is there like other event that I can hook it into?
I'm not sure about this one. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Maybe it's login, um, but yeah, that seems weird that it doesn't trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
And yeah, I will also describe all of these in blog post. We'll publish it tomorrow or something, describing
Very
all of
cool.
these steps we had. And yeah, if you can get back to me with the Google Auth and everything, then yeah, I will also include that. Worst case
Okay.
scenario, we'll include it later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario is that you have to manually trigger. You have to write some front end code to trigger that function. But I'll figure out what's going on with the Google login.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention. So we had here in validate user. So we had just user ID and Hasura role, right?
Yeah.
But let's say let's actually do an experiment. So I want to add X Hasura custom var, and will be something. Okay. So what I want to do now is I will push that. Um, and what will happen? I can use this custom var for my checking permissions and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Again, if you're just pushing the functions, then you can just Netlify deploy.
Okay. Yeah. Now it will rebuild the whole thing, right?
Do you want to try? You want to try it?
Netlify deploy. Yeah.
Yeah. So Netlify deploy dash dash prod, and that will deploy straight to prod, including the functions. I think it's you need to build
From
the
functions.
yeah, you need to build the example. No, the front end. Remember, we haven't built the front end yet.
Yeah. We just installed. Like Yarn took ages to run. So
this would be easier if we're just working on a real repo without this extra stuff
yeah.
going on. Anyway.
Yeah. I think I will just. Well. Yeah. I will just like create a new repo and reference that in the blog post without all of this. Just having the
Just
the
strip out the
widget, just
example.
the example, and yeah, the function. There's no need to do this during the stream, but yeah, I will definitely do that for the blog post.
Honestly, like that's my complaint against mono repos is that you cannot just fork and keep going. People want mono repos so they can update code, but it's not that user friendly.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Like sometimes I like working with a mono repo, sometimes I don't. So don't have any specific opinion on that. It depends. I guess it depends how you set up your mono repo and how it's like it's developer friendly, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it when I did this. I just added it in as a last minute thing.
Yeah. Okay. Optimize production build. Too much time for optimization.
I think this is the OBS.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, OBS is taking
well,
lots and lots
maybe
of resources.
the CIA build has already done. It's already completed.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so what we want to do, just let's go to users here, and it was something, right? So permissions, let's do for our posts. Let's select posts that correspond the current user ID.
Okay.
And posts which have
oh, that is so handy, just clicking in that autofills thing.
Yeah,
It's so handy.
And here was custom var.
Is it case sensitive?
No. Title, content, save permissions. Now if I go, I have a query with posts, so what I can do is just query or subscribe to my posts, let's say content or title, and I won't have anything, right? I don't know why I ran subscription, to be honest, but let's insert post with content with something.
Oh man, the Explorer is so good.
Yeah. Now query posts.
Can you just run?
Yeah, sure. Now I have this because I have content something.
Mhm.
Now check this out. If I go to this post and I will say it's something one, run that, it won't let me. I won't see any posts because we have custom validation here in permissions. We said I can see my posts only if my content is equal to that one, to like something that was passed
Uh,
from here.
Whoa.
Yeah. It means I can do like any level, like I can put custom vars, and let's say I have environment variables, right? I can pass
Right.
environment variable here, and based on environment variable, I can do custom checks here with anything. Not it just
I
a simple example with content, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That's very powerful.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I can limit that to like column level permissions, and yeah, I can like for that one can also allow aggregation queries, so like to see count and like max and min and all of this stuff.
Very cool.
So yeah, pretty cool powerful stuff that you can do with that. And yeah, so now you also have Netlify identity example with I know like lots of people asked for that. So right now we have this.
Yeah, I actually had someone ping me on the subreddit,
Yeah.
so I'm
Uh,
glad this example is here. I need to go through it myself to
yeah.
make sure I get everything.
Yeah, and I will go like through the blog post. So if you have some insights like today, tomorrow, well, like before I publish blog post, let me know, or even after. I will just add it to a blog post or something.
Oh, the main thing is I want to make sure that the Google login works like we expect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing. No, not only Google, all the like social providers. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, with that we'll wrap up our stream, basically like stream series that we had. We had two streams, right? And
Many seasons.
yeah, it was really exciting, and I'm really happy we made it working. Like I was not sure if we'll succeed in that because like initially when I announced the first stream, I was like, okay, probably it's possible. Let's do that. And yeah, as you can see, everything's possible. And yeah, yeah. Thanks for being here on the stream, and thanks for all the all the stuff that you added for like dev environment and everything. And yeah, we'll do streams in the future with different like other stuff.
Okay.
So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Thanks for being on
Thanks
the
for having me
stream.
on.
And
All right.
yeah, bye everyone. There will be a blog post on that, and next stream will be also next week. So make sure to follow us on Twitch. And this is type of content we're streaming: live coding, dealing with problems, and fixing them, and
Oh
eventually
God.
having stuff working.
Yes. I am yelling at people right now to publish my own fixes
Yeah.
because
Cool.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. All right. Anything.